Okay, good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Hello.
Thank you so much for taking the time to our second event as it pertains to our Reno Day. We're so excited to have everyone here and really appreciate you taking the time. I'm Greg Johnson, the CEO of Cincinnati Metropolitan Housing Authority, and this is our second effort at doing our Reno Day virtually. We think it turned out really well last time, and I appreciate you taking the time. Just before we have our presenters speak, we're just going to run through a short PowerPoint to update everyone on what we're celebrating here today. And I'm going to take a couple minutes to do a few ad libs. We're celebrating much, much more than just buildings. We are transforming lives, we're improving the community, and some of the biggest things that we're doing as we go through and I get a chance to talk through some of these items, we're creating jobs, creating livable wages, and all of these things are great items for our community, for our residents overall. And I just want to say thank you to the city and thank you to the county for your partnerships as we go through our process of reaching $1 billion of renovation at Cincinnati Metropolitan Housing Authority. Yesterday, we had a board meeting and our board approved our management development agreement of Winton Terrace and Fenlater Gardens, which we are so excited about. And that will be the largest renovation project in our county and in our city. And we couldn't do it with all of your support and efforts. And so I want to say thank you, but I want to make sure that I say a special thank you to all of the staff that's been working so hard behind the scenes to make all of this happen. We really appreciate it. It's not easy, but as we get through it, I think you'll see that it's well worth the effort that we've been putting forward. So we'll just start through the presentation. So as I said, we're implementing the bold CMHA transformation plan. And again, thank you to everyone for joining us. Next slide, please, Leslie. I always go through this caption because I think it's important. Public housing needs across the country, and this is a study done by HUD, showed in 2010 there was a $26 billion capital backlog. And this is in 2010, and this backlog has been increasing by 1.5 billion annually. So one of the things it's always important for us to talk about is the reason why we're doing it, obviously, is to improve the housing. Obviously, it's to improve the lives of the residents. But it's also our largest funding partner, which is HUD, is saying, hey, you have to look at out-of-the-box ways to make this happen because we're not going to fund you enough money to be able to catch up the backlog. And so I appreciate HUD's efforts in designing and offering several products that allow housing authorities to be more flexible through the process. Next slide. So these are the sources and some of the repositioning tools. I think every time we do one of these, I always go over these because I don't think that one time is enough because it is a little, well, not a little, a lot complicated. Rima, don't knock me out when I say a little complicated. It is a lot complicated. We're using our RAD, we're using our Section 18, we're using DOT, voluntary conversion. And then, as you can see, all of the sources of capital. And as we're reaching through this $1 billion plan, and our partners, our financial partners are going to be speaking a little later, you're going to see that this is a true public-private partnership as we're doing this. And it's not all public dollars that are going into this $1 billion renovation. Next slide. So I always want to start where we started in the beginning. Sutter View was our first closing of major redevelopment. It's in the English Woods area. Sutter View was over a $30 million redevelopment, which we started in 2019 of July.
I got Miss Mitchell on here.
In 2019. And then we are moving forward. We're about 65%, 70% done with that project. And as you can see, this is true transformation, not just a little work that's being done. And these units will be affordable for the next 40 years. And the financial stability that we're putting them, platform we're putting them on is a different platform than the regular public housing. Next slide. The Evanston also is, we're in process of redoing the Evanston as well. We're about the same percentage done with this project. This project was a little over $5 million. As you can see, it didn't need as much work, but you can see the work that we're doing is quality work and work that's going to last for the long term for the residents. Next slide. Pinecrest, we just closed on Pinecrest in June. As you can see, we have got right on the work that's being done. This is another project that's over $30 million that we've been working on. We got a few units done, and so you can see what the units look like and how we're finishing those units inside as we go through the construction process. It's just been a few months, and as you can see, we're right on top of it and moving forward with getting these units done as quickly as fast as possible. Next slide. And then Park Eden, also we have closed on Park Eden. We just had the Reno day. And as you can see, we just started our construction. This is what the inside of the units look like, but here's all the construction. We don't have any units done. And as you can see, we're taking all safety precautions with everyone using and wearing their PPE as we're doing this construction during this time in our community. Obviously, we're going through a lot of changes with COVID-19, but I will say that I'm very, very proud of the staff. I'm very, very proud of our partners. We've figured out ways to work through safely, and we have been able to accomplish 2 closings. We only slowed down in construction in one project a little, but we've been steady pace and doing it in a safe manner. And this is just additional slides at Park Eden as well. So now we're talking about over a $35 million modernization on this project. As you can see, we got tons of upgrades. And then our economic inclusion goals, our goals are set a little higher than HUD's goals, but 20, 30, 20, and 5%. MBE, WBE is going to resulting in actual dollars that are going to MBE, Section 3, WBE, and we really think that this is very important. We have a separate strategic plan that we set out to make sure to capture these goals as we're doing this renovation, and we're very excited about our partners, our construction partners have been their willingness to make sure that we meet and or exceed our goals. So then you can see this particular project is 32% on our Section 3 minority-owned businesses, 5%, and then we've created 13 new livable wage jobs, and you can see the livable wages at over $38 an hour. And we feel like this is huge in our community. So not only, as I said before, we're preserving much needed affordable housing, We're improving the property values in the community where we're doing this work, but we're creating new jobs, and we're creating those new jobs for minority-owned businesses, women-owned businesses, and Section 3 residents and businesses in our community as well. We think these are all home runs as we go through our process. And so I want to, that's the information I wanted to cover about the project. But we have a few individuals that would like to say a few words, and I'm so very happy to have, unfortunately, today our Vice Chair of our Board of Commissioners, Ms. Laverne Mitchell.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity to represent the Board of Commissioners. I believe we have one of my fellow board members, Mr. Tom Wiedemann. I believe he has joined us today as well. It is an honor to be a part of this bold transformation taking place at Cincinnati Metropolitan Housing Authority. We are all just very, very excited. The commissioners realize the need for affordable housing in the community is very great. And as I said before, we are excited about the changes that are about to come and proud of everyone who is responsible for pushing forward during these particularly challenging times. So Mr. Johnson and your staff and everyone else who's involved, your perseverance helps carry out the vision, the mission, and the strategic goals of this agency. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mitchell. I guarantee you, we really appreciate that. Appreciate the board's willingness to trust us to get through this transition. So it's truly a partnership as we walk through this.
Definitely.
Next, to say a few words, we have Ms. Nan Cahill from U.S. Senator Rob Portman's office.
Well, thank you very much for having me here today and letting me just say a few words. I really, the work has all been done by you, by the leadership of the board. I thank Ms. Mitchell and the entire board. I also, Greg, want to commend you and your entire team at CMHA on the renovations at Park Eden. You have successfully utilized the HUD Rental Assistance Demonstration Program, which is amazing because it brings in the partnerships from the public and the private sector, which helps build our community, and everybody has a piece in it. So I know Senator Portman would want me to share with you a big congratulations. These are major accomplishments that you guys have achieved, and you are ensuring that the units will remain permanently affordable for low-income residents, which is so valuable to our community. So thank you very much. Congratulations. I know Tom Leach is going to give us a lot more of an update on HUD and the work that they're doing. And so we're proud of the work that HUD does in Cincinnati as well. And so from Senator Portman's office and Senator Portman, congratulations. And thank you for all you do for our community.
Thank you so very much. We really appreciate the partnership that we have with your office as well. Next, we have our president of the county commissioners, Miss Denise Driehaus.
Hi, Greg. Good to see you this morning. Good to see everyone. Look, it's exciting to have all these renovations going on because as we all know, we have a shortage of affordable housing, not only in the city of Cincinnati, but throughout Hamilton County. And so we as a commission have started to look at this in hoping to put some resources into this space, but you all have been doing this work for decades. And I applaud the effort, applaud the work, love the renovations, by the way. They look fantastic. I just redid my kitchen, so I'm especially interested in the kitchen redo. But you're providing spaces for people to live spaces that are bright and fresh and provide dignity to the places where people live. And so I think it is so important. And, the county, the city, the federal government, HUD, and the CMHA board are all partners in all of this. And I'm just really pleased to see that you continue to march forward. I'll look forward to coming out in person sometime. The last time I came out in person, the renovations you're doing are just so, they're spectacular. And it's so different, I think, than what some people think about affordable housing. And so you've really raised the bar. And it's just, I'm very proud to be part of the program today and part of the partnership countywide. So thanks again. Thanks especially to Laverne and Tom, the board members, and Greg, for all the work that you're doing to make Hamilton County a better place. So thanks.
Thank you so much. The county's partnership is so vital to the success of this, and during our new construction projects and as we get into our preservation projects in the county, your partnership, your further partnership is going to be very important and key to further developing new units. So we really, really appreciate that. And fortunately, I'm going to hold you to coming out so we can show you some of these when we get done. So
I look forward to it.
Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it.
Great.
Next, we have Mr. Council Member David Mann from the city of Cincinnati.
Hey, Greg, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
It's exciting to be here. You and I were together a couple mornings ago. You were kind enough to come give a briefing about all that you're up to the Law and Public Safety Committee. We appreciated that. And as I've told people, this is not your grandfather's CMHA. So it's exciting to see how you are, so with such innovation, accessing funds that are available and attacking a problem. Commissioner Driehaus alluded to the shortage that we see in affordable housing units in the county and in the city. And it takes a lot of people finding new ways to attack that problem. And obviously a building like Park Eden, which has been there a while, which is a part of a very important historic community, can't be allowed to deteriorate. It has to be renewed. And that's what this particular project does. And so I share Commissioner Driehaus's excitement about the quality that appears to be being put in the units. That's great. And after all, we talk about affordable housing, it's become sort of an abstract concept, but really what we're talking about is giving folks the dignity of living in a space where they can feel secure, where they can feel a sense of pride. And it's so critical to the way we get to live out our lives, particularly in the time of the pandemic when we're not supposed to be venturing away. So that's another aspect of this. And I'm also impressed, and you covered some of this when you were in front of the Law and Public Safety Committee, your commitment to jobs with living wages. And I like to see a living wage that's in the upper 30s instead of the $15 that we seem to be stuck on so often. And it also is important, the commitment that you're making to exceeding, as I understand it, the commitment that HUD imposes on you in terms of the percentage of the construction work that goes to the various programs that make sure that minority businesses and female-owned businesses in our community benefit from this expenditure of public dollars. All too long in our society, somehow, some way, that particular piece of what public expenditure should be about has been missed. So I laud you for that. And I say congratulations. And on behalf of the city, I'm really excited to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time, and thank you so much for those comments. And I'm going to hold you guys to inviting me back to give an update and to building that stronger partnership with the city and also with the county. So actually, Commissioner Driehaus, I'm going to be presenting the county with a possible partnership proposal. So I'm looking forward to that. We're almost done with it to kind of further our partnership as we continue to walk through. So I really appreciate your time today as we walk through this process. Well, our next speaker is going to be, without this partner, it would be impossible for us to do this. And Mr. Tom Leach.
Hi, good morning. My name is Tom Leach. I'm the Field Office Director in the HUD Columbus Field Office. But what a great day to celebrate a new beginning. And, you know, HUD is committed to the success of affordable housing opportunities across the nation and right here at Park Eden in the Walnut Hills community in Cincinnati. But, you know, Greg, HUD is proud to be a partner in this renovation of Park Eden. And it's through the HUD Rental Assistance Demonstration Program that we're able to save 176 units for individuals and families. And through the RED program, this major renovation plans to leverage millions in private sector funding, not tax dollars. So far in Ohio, the RED program has saved housing for over 10,600 residents in 36 developments covering over 4,200 units. So there are currently another 51 developments, some of which you talked about, that are currently in progress, covering another over 4,300 units. So safe, decent, affordable housing can be difficult to find, especially in Cincinnati. And that's why preserving housing is a priority for HUD, the Cincinnati Metropolitan Housing Authority, and all our partners, and great partners we have. Besides saving the affordable housing, the RED program in Ohio has secured over $284 million in construction investment. That's over 5,400 jobs that have been created. And I want to tell you, Cincinnati Metro is one of the top housing authorities in the nation on Section 3, and the economic inclusion strategy is one of the best in the nation too. So congratulations, Greg, and your partners there and your staff. But I want to tell you that CMHA has also demonstrated a strong history of protecting residents. And through this RED process, CMHA will continue to work with residents to ensure that information is shared and that residents will keep their housing opportunities. Protecting residents is a priority for both HUD and CMHA under RED. Well, I want to thank Executive Director Greg Johnson, his awesome team at CMHA, and all the partners in this initiative for their leadership in the RED program and ensuring that Park Eden residents remain a viable, affordable property, and that more importantly, for ensuring that the residents of Park Eden remain a vital part of the community. So thank you very much, and congratulations on this historic, successful event.
Thank you, Tom. We really appreciate all of those words and appreciate being part of the overall HUD view on how we are supposed to achieve these things and do this. So it's always great when you're able to reassure everybody that we're not going rogue. This is what the major funder is saying I would like you to do. So I appreciate you taking the time and saying those words. So thank you so very much. So next we have, you know, I did say Tom and everybody on this call is very important partners, but this next person is so important to me as we go through this process and running the organization. So next, I'm going to ask Ms. Rima Ruberg, our Chief Executive Officer, to say a few words. I called her Executive Officer, Operating Officer. I gave her my job.
I was going to say, good morning, everybody. Thank you, Mr. Johnson, for those kind words. Welcome to CMHA's 5th RAD closing. To date, we have closed over $100 million in RAD deals. I just want to take this opportunity to thank all of CMHA's staff involved in the Park Eden development. There's a lot of people to say, but you know, I won't be able to call everybody out by name, but please know Mr. Johnson and I really appreciate all your hard work. Some of the departments and that I like to recognize, and I also like to recognize the project management team that worked directly with the Park Eden deal. To start, Gary Perez, who is our Director of Development, and all his staff. Paulo Cisnero, he is our Development Project Manager on the Park Eden deal. Joe Norton, he's our Director of Construction in his department. Jeff Getz and Jose Munoz are our construction project managers on the Park Eden. Marquita Flowers, who's our Director of Property Management. Barbara Jeff, she's our Area Manager. Taquana Squire, she's our Park Eden Property Manager. Mary Kozik, she's our Director of Asset Management Services, and her staff. Joy Gazaway, our General Counsel. And there's so many more, but thanks to all of you and your staff that worked very hard to get this deal closed. Park Eden, as Mr. Johnson and others have mentioned, is a $36 million development deal, or rehab deal. 176 units that are going to be rehabbed with a mix of financing. And again, I believe Tom had mentioned that this truly is a very successful public-private partnership in which CMHA was actually able to leverage $1 million of replacement housing factor grant. That is approximately about 5.4% of the overall financing stack. There's two primary sources of construction funding for this project. There's multiple, but two primary sources was the 4% tax credits and the FHA 221D debt. I would like to thank all our partners, including HUD, Ohio Capital Corporation, Lumen, and Walla Communities. They all worked very hard with us to finance and close this exciting project. So thank you.
Thank you, Rima. You know, Rima mentioned all of the staff, and most of the staff is on the call, but if you notice, everybody on this call, as Rima said, contributes to all of this happening. From the procurement of the developer and then to the person that captures all of the data, goes out and makes sure that what people are supposed to get paid, they do get paid, and if not, challenges the process. So just as Rima said, we want to thank everybody because this is a true internal partnership, as many deals as we have coming up and done, to make sure that we get them done on time. So I want to move, as Rima said, our important partners in this is our funders and partners. And I want to just ask them to say a few words. So I'm going to ask Mr. Joey Haig to say a few words.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. I'm Joey Haig. I'm a director at Lumint. We were formerly, and when we closed the deal, we were Oryx Real Estate Capital. We've really appreciated the opportunity to work on the Park Eden project. My team at Lumen really appreciates working with the individuals at CMHA, and we really think that they're top notch. Shonda and Paulo, Gary, Joe, Jeff, and Alexandria, and everyone did a tremendous job in bringing this project together. These RAD projects are not easy, and it's an understatement. There are multiple financing sources in these deals. All those financing sources have different requirements and different hoops to jump through. All the while, construction pricing is increasing. And pressure is being put on from different areas to close deals and to get it done, but get it done successfully. We believe that the team at CMHA is one of the best, and you know, this just goes on to prove that they are capable of closing these jobs and these types of transactions. And we're very impressed by the team there. So really appreciate it. Sorry we can't meet in person. Hopefully the next one we'll be able to.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Joy. And I think you're getting used to this. This is quite a few that you've been able to speak, and which is good. So it means we're making progress in public-private partnerships. Thank you so much for being here and your words. The next young man that I'm going to introduce, we've known each other for a little while, but he thought he was stepping away, then he stepped back in for a little while, then he's going to step away again. Mr. Hal Keller, interim president and CEO of Ohio Capital Corp.
Yeah, thanks, Greg, and thank you for calling me young man. I appreciate that. And we've known each other for more than just a few years. It's been a great relationship. As the relationship with the CMHA has been, we've done wonderful things together. And Brian Langmeyer, who's going to be speaking next, has been working with REMA and the CMHA team. And congratulations to CMHA. And Greg, I really appreciate the context you started the presentation with in terms of the backlog nationally and certainly in terms of your portfolio. You've been entrepreneurial, you've been innovative, and it's just tough work. It's very complicated work. So congratulations, and just a wonderful partner. So we talk about the public-private partnership, and we're the private part of that public-private partnership. And what Ohio Capital Corporation does is takes these tax credits that have been awarded to CMHA and monetize them. We get investors to invest in those. We've invested over $5 billion on behalf of corporate banks primarily, a lot with CMHA over the years, and we'd love to continue to do that. So if you can bear with me, there are actually 25 investors in the Park Eden project. I'm not going to read them all, but please bear with me. Some of the names might sound familiar. JP Morgan Capital Corporation, also known as Chase Bank, Huntington, Key Bank, US Bank, Fifth Third Community Development Corporation, Park National Bank, West Banco, Republic Bank, First Financial Bank, LCNB Bank, Great Hills Bank, and a bunch of others are all part of this venture together. And as you know, our relationship is not just to come into the table with money, but it's a long-term relationship, 15 or more years. We know CMHA does just a great job on that. And I just want to end with in terms of some numbers. Through this financing, we are providing $11.9 million, or about 32% of the overall financing from these tax credits. That's what our investors are putting in. And I also want to point out is that, in some ways, the money part, it sounds complex, and it is complex, and we work hard. But I just want to say hats off to REMA and the rest of CMHA staff, because the hard work is really what you do in terms of the rehab and the management and relocation. So I want to thank you for everything that you do. And again, I'm an honor to be part of this partnership.
Thanks, Al. Appreciate it. Really appreciate it. And so this next young gentleman, Hal talked about a little bit, is Brian Langmeyer.
Well, thanks, Greg. First of all, I want to thank you for, you can get pretty dicey weather at the end of October. Sometimes it's cold and rainy, and I got to tell you, it's 70 degrees here. I'm like, nice work. But first, let me congratulate you and your staff, and Joey named a lot of the people, but Rima, Gary, I see Paolo on the call, Shonda, Debbie, Joe Norton, Alexandria. You guys just do tremendous work, and it would be really, really easy where we are today to just say, pandemic, let's push this off to 2021. But you guys have really done a great job persevering through all this and being able to close deals and continue to do the work. So congratulations to you. One thing, if people were on the call when we did the Pinecrest deal, that Greg had mentioned that in the last 20 years that we've known you, and that goes back to your days in Dayton, that we had crossed the 1,000 unit threshold. I had no idea when you said that. I really didn't. But I was thinking about it that afternoon, and I thought how cool that was, because there are 1,000 families out there that have a better place to live. And for the most part, they probably don't know who Ohio Capital Corporation is. And I thought that's really unique and great to be able to do that for those people who really wouldn't even know who we are. So I just want to say we appreciate you including us, and we're really looking forward to this one, and hopefully a couple more next year. I know you guys have a very aggressive goal of doing a lot more work. So thank you. Really appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Brian. We appreciate that. And hopefully we'll get to 6,000 when we're done here at CMHA, because I got about 5,000 more to go here. Rima, don't kill me, but yeah, we got about 5,000 more to go. I appreciate that. Our next speaker is Joey Hall, Vice President of Development of Wallen.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Johnson. We appreciate it, and thank you for letting us be a part of the program today. I speak on both behalf of myself and my colleague Bill Hinga on the call today. That we can't express our congratulations enough for the successful navigation of another RAD process. As everyone has expressed, it's an extremely complicated process, but what a great, wonderful outcome for the Park Eden community and its residents to bring such a great renovation to the table. Wall Lake Communities is just extremely appreciative to be selected as the general contractor for this project. We can't thank you enough for being able to be at the table, as well as also being selected as a preferred developer for CMHA in 2018 and 2020 to make this possible. So thank you for that. Our senior construction manager, Nick Shuka, wanted to let everyone know he's extremely excited to dig into this renovation and make it a success. This is actually Wall Lake Community's second general contracting RAD effort with CMHA. The first being the Evanston, which is currently going well and going on today. I believe it's set to close here soon or finish in January. Nick wanted me to express his sincere gratitude to all of the CMHA staff for its extreme professionalism as we work through these projects, and he is extremely excited to get started again on Park Eden. And I just want to say thank you again for letting Wall Lake Communities be a part of the process, and we hope to be a part of many more. Thank you again.
Well, thank you, and we appreciate the partnership. And I would have to say things have been going well. And Bill and I have known each other for a long time. One of your senior managers there. So we appreciate your time, and Bill, of being part of the partnership and the program today. As I close up, I want to make sure, Rima and I always are conscious about making sure we don't leave anyone out. And we do have Will McCabe works and manages our site here and also our warehouse. So he makes sure everything is ordered on time and things like that. So I just want to make sure to recognize Will there. I mentioned a little of Stacia. I think she was turned the other way. Stacia actually goes out and she checks and makes sure people get paid what they're supposed to be paid and on time. And then Lisa Isham, if you move your hand there, Lisa, so everybody know who I'm talking about. Lisa Isham is the director of our HCV program. And if it wasn't for the internal understanding, because we're utilizing that program through this RAD conversion. So all the changes that we're having that program go through and it is really appreciated. And then last but not least, you see Lisa Thomas, and she gets all of the bad news when somebody's not happy with this. She's the director of HR. So she's an important piece to all of this as we do new hires and work through our internal processes as well. So I don't think I missed anyone. As I close up, I want to make sure that, we're here to celebrate Park Eden, the preservation of 176 units, so we can keep providing affordable housing to families. I didn't see a lot of people that work in our relocation department, but I know Rima mentioned that the relocation team has been doing a stellar job of relocating residents in the buildings and some outside the buildings. But really, the main thing is assuring families that want to come back, that they have the opportunity to come back and relocating them back in the building. So we're not emptying whole buildings. It's by floor. It's not easy work. It's very tough work, but we've been able to do it so far, knock on wood, with not a lot of fanfare. So, and that's been really good for us to keep moving forward. So as I close, I believe we have Mr. Norton. I believe he's made it in. Is that right, Leslie? Did Joe make it in? Because I have one thing from Joe. So if everybody can see Joe down in the corner there, and I'm gonna ask Joe give Joe this important thing to do. And Joe, Tear down that cabinet, buddy. Maybe you didn't hear me. We're ready for you, Joe. Joe, we're ready. Maybe he's getting ready or something. I don't know. He looks like he's posing for a picture or something there. There you go.
There we go.
There you go. All right. There we go. We got it. Well, thanks everybody for taking the time. I will have to say this is an easier drive for everybody. So you don't lose all of your day. Just maybe 30, 45 minutes. And as I said, we're very excited about this project, and I look forward to seeing everyone at our next project as we move forward with this. Everybody have a great day. Thank you so much for attending. I really appreciate it. Have a great weekend as well.
Greg.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Greg.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Greg, thank you.